Here's how to install BluMak3D's phone mounting bracket on any BMW K1600 GT, GTL, or bagger with cast handlebar. For quad lock, the BluMak3D bracket engages directly with the back of the quad lock charging head. We prefer the bare wire ends of the 12 to 24 volt vibration dampening wireless charging head. All you need is the head and the quad lock case for your phone. Drop the quad lock supplied bolt through the index head and into the BluMak3D bracket and tighten with a 3mm Allen wrench. After installation, you can loosen the bolt, disengage the pattern, and change the rotation to suit your preference. For Q-mount, place the locking nut over the ball end, then snap the ball into the back of the mount and tighten the nut. You can make adjustments to the final angle after installation by loosening the nut. Push the power cables into the cable management guides with your fingers. It's a tight fit by design, but do not poke the wiring with tools. Remove the rider's seat and use a T25 Torx to remove the following bolts on the left side of the bike only. 2 on the rear of the tank trim, 1 that holds the small trim piece behind the wind deflector. Behind that, you'll also remove the front bolt for the tank cover, and 1 on the top of the tank cover. Slide the tank trim cover backward and lift to remove it, which will reveal 1 more on the tank trim top. Unbuckle the 3 cable management straps. Place the open part of the BluMak3D bracket against the left handlebar casting and push until it spreads open and snaps over the bar. Then ensure that the bracket locks over the web in the underside of the casting. Note that the interior mating surface of the bracket is an exact fit to the exterior shape of the casting, which makes it fit tightly without aggressively tightening the hardware. Drop the supplied bolt through the top of the BluMak3D bracket and tighten until snug using the 3mm Allen wrench. The maximum torque is 13 inch-pounds. This is less than 1 foot-pound. There is no hard stop, and it is possible to over-tighten the hardware by hand. The safest way to tighten the hardware is by using your fingertips directly over the head of the wrench rather than at the ends of the wrench handle. Once you feel drag on the hardware, stop tightening. If the clutch reservoir interferes with the bracket, simply loosen the single Torx to drop the auxiliary button pod. Then, loosen the 2 Torx on the clutch clamp. This will allow you all the space you need to get the bracket over the casting. We found the correct size Torx for the clutch clamp under the seat on our 2019 GT. The Torx for the clutch clamp and switch pod also only need to be tightened until snug. Route the phone mount power cable under the bar and forward into the motorcycle's left side wiring and secure the loom with the original cable management straps. To ensure that the cables have enough slack, turn the bars all the way to the right and run the power cable under the tank trim all the way to the battery compartment. You'll need to lift the trim up, run the wire underneath it, then carefully put it back into place. Note that the tank trim has guide tabs for ensuring proper fitment. Take your time to line the guides up with their receivers and do not attempt to force it back into place. For a factory-looking installation and easy troubleshooting, we connect to the harness for the power socket, which is powered by the ignition circuit and happens to be in the same area as the battery. If your quad lock has a USB end, or you prefer a different power source, accommodate as needed. Use a tool to gently push in on the harness lock, then pull the harness up so it can be worked on. Our preference is to strip back a section of each wire, twist, and solder. Then tape each wire individually and then together as a bundle with cloth tape to make for a factory-looking install. We also include 2 butt connectors if you aren't particular about cutting the wires. Turn on the ignition and check for power at the charging head before reconnecting the harness to the socket. Then reassemble everything. Note that the tank cover needs to slide forward over this tab to lock into place. If you have any questions, contact us directly through our website at BluMak3D.com.